Hey guys, we are learning about dot plots. So first, this is a picture of a dot plot. I just want to make sure we kind of remember the different parts. So they will generally give you a title. So this dot plot is about the number of books students read this summer. And then they should label each number down here kind of like a number line. And then above each number, they are putting dots. Each dot represents one piece of data. So this is one student that read 0 books. There's another student, a third, and a fourth student that read 0 books this summer. If there's a space where there's no dots, that means no one answered that when they were surveyed. So that's kind of the idea of a dot plot. All right, so now we need to use the data from a dot plot to answer different questions. So first thing they're asking us is to find the mean of the data. You should have just done mean. So remember, for mean, we're going to add all the numbers up, divide by how many numbers there were. So that's how we're going to find the mean or the average. You can list these numbers out. We're going to need to do that for median anyhow. So why don't we go ahead and do that real quick. Remember, each dot represents a number. So what I mean is I'm going to list 0 because this dot is over 0. And then there's another 0. 2, 3, 4 zeros. So 0, 0, 0, 0. Then there's 1, 1. There's 4 2s. So 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, that's 4 2s. Then there's no 3s. There's 2 4s. So 4, 4. 5s. We're going to need to do 3 5s. 5, 5, 5. 2 6s, 6, 6, 1 7, and 1 9. Okay, and then again, I like to always double check myself. How many dots did I originally have? How many numbers did I write down? They should match. So I had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 dots. So I should have 18 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I do match. Now remember, you're going to add all those numbers up. So I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and do that on a calculator. Add each of those numbers together. When I added those together, I got 60. So I'm going to put 60. And we divide that total by how many dots there were. So remember, a second ago we counted there were 18. So go ahead and take a second with your calculator and figure out what that is. And I am getting 3.3 repeated. It doesn't say anything about rounding or anything, so I am just going to leave that as 3.3 repeated. Okay, now for the median. So up there where I listed all those numbers in pink, that's great. They're already in order since it's on a dot plot. That makes it way easier. So remember, for median, it's the middle number. We're going to cross off from the outside until we get to the middle. Make sure you cross off the same number of them. So I'm going to take the 0 and the 9, 0, 7, 0, 6, 0, 6, 1, 5, the 2 and the 5, 2, 5, 2, 4. And here I am, I've got 2 numbers left in the middle, so I can't cross them both off because I'll have nothing left in between. So remember, when you have 2 in the middle, you're going to add them together. So I've got a 2 and a 4, so 2 plus 4, which is 6. And then divide by 2. It's like you're finding the mean of those 2 numbers. So 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. So 3 is our median, which is kind of funny because there's not even a dot on 3, but that is still where the middle of the data set is. Okay, next is mode. Remember, mode is the one that repeats the most often. So on a dot plot, that's actually kind of easy because you look for the one with the most dots. So 0 has 4 dots, 2 also has 4 dots, and then the next highest is a 3 dot. So we know the ones with 4 dots are the most, and it's okay that there's 2 of them, so we will just list them both. So 0 and 2 are both the modes. Finally, remember, range. for range, we are going to take the biggest number and subtract the smallest number. Remember, it's not how many dots though, it's what number the dot is representing. So kind of back to our pink numbers we wrote up above. So our biggest number was 9. 9 books was the most that someone read. The least number of books that were read were 0 books. So 9 minus 0 gives me 9. So our range is 9. Okay, let's answer some more questions about these. So how many students read exactly 6 books? So when I look over at 6, remember each dot represents a person. So there's 1, 2 dots on the number 6. So 2 people read exactly 6 books. Next question, what fraction of the students read 0 books? And it asked me to put it in simplest form. So for fraction, I need to figure out how many people that represents. So how many people read 0 books? When I look over here, I can see 4 dots. That's what goes on top of my fraction. On the bottom of my fraction is how many people there were surveyed total. So how many dots total? We said before we had 18. So 4/18. This is not simplified though, so we want to go ahead and do that. So 4 and 18 are both divisible by 2. They're both even numbers. So I should get 2/9 for my fraction. Okay, same with the next question. What fraction of the students read more than 2 books? Okay, that's a little trickier. More than 2 books. So it doesn't include 2 if it's more than 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Those are all more than 2 books. So I'm really looking at all of these dots. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dots out of, we said 18 total. Again, we need to simplify this. So 9 and 18 are both divisible by 9. And we should get 1/2 for our fraction. All right, here are just a couple more questions. So now they're asking us what percent of the students read 2 books. So they also say to round to the nearest whole percent. So if we need to, if it ends up with a decimal, we'll just round it to the whole percent. So to make a percent, I'm hoping you can remember from some of our past lessons, we're going to set up a proportion. So we're going to put the original fraction first. So let's just pretend like they're asking us for the fraction for starters. So what fraction of students read 2 books? So there's 4 people out of the 18 total. And instead of just simplifying the fraction, we're going to set it up equal to, we want to know percent. So remember, percent is always out of 100. So we're going to put percent or x over 100 because I want to know what percent it is out of 100. Remember, it's like the part over the part, the whole over the whole. So the part was the 4 people out of the total 18 people, and then the percent out of the total 100%. And then remember, to actually solve this, we are going to cross multiply and then divide. So you're going to do 4 times 100, which hopefully we all know is 400, and then divide by 18. I'm going to give you a second to do that with your calculator. And when I did that, I got 22.2 repeated. It does ask us to round this time though, so to the nearest whole percent. So I'm going to look at that too. It is going to tell me to round this down. So this is really 22%. Okay, let's look at the next one. So what percent of students read 5 or more books? So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? It does include 5 this time, 5 or more. So I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots out of the 18. And we're going to set it up again like a proportion equals x over 100. Go ahead and do your cross multiply and divide, and let's see what you get. So we should be doing 7 times 100 equals 700. And then 700 divided by that 18, which gave me 38.8 repeated. But again, we are supposed to be rounding this, so that 8 would tell me to round this up. So we're going to call it 39% since they asked us for the nearest whole percent. Okay, we just have one more. So what percent of students read less than 4 books? So think about what is less than 4. So it does not include 4. It's anything less than that. So the 3, 2, 1, 0 people. So count those dots. I'm seeing 9 of them because we're talking about this group. So 9 out of the 18 equals X out of 100. Go ahead and do your cross multiply and divide, and let's see what you get. Okay, I'm doing 9 times 100, which is 900, and then 900 divided by 18, which gives me exactly 50. So my answer for this one is 50%. All right, good job, guys. So I'm going to have you go ahead and finish the rest of the slides. They're just like these. Remember to come back to the video if you're not sure how to answer any questions. They're very similar, just using a new dot plot. Thanks.